Welcome back to Counsel Culture, where it's not about canceling, but it's about counseling, where we can feel together, reveal together, so we all can heal together. And this is our second session, second of many. I mean, we're good friends because we are truly connected in multiple ways, but this is one of the most beautiful souls that I know that guides me through my crazy life, the one and only Dr. Laura Berman. Welcome back. We are continuing our conversation. Last time we were talking about Valentine's Day. I made it out alive.
Barely.
But I think that brings a bigger conversation because even, in the comments and, it's my life in general. I get questioned quite a bit about monogamy.
Yeah, you do.
And I've spoken out about monogamy before, and I don't know if I said the right thing because I'm always putting my foot in my mouth. But I truly don't believe it. Maybe you can help me with this because this is today's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think monogamy is natural for humans.
Okay.
And specifically with men, I don't believe men can be successful for a long duration, true longevity, without some sort of discipline coming from a space of religion or spirituality, because it is not in their nature to be monogamous. I don't really have any facts that state that or that support that. I have read a bunch of books on it, and even, from pseudo-intellectuals, but I wonder if there is some true science, and maybe I'll get the true statistics now that we're opening this up for conversation. Maybe there's a doctor in the comments, but I just think the way that the brain is set up, specifically when it comes to a male brain with testosterone, and the way that, the neuroplasticity is the transmitters and all that stuff. We don't click. When it comes to our, endorphins and the oxytocin, we're new shiny things excite us as men. We are,
Yeah. I agree with you, and I'll tell you why.
Thank you.
But.
Session over.
Oh, wait, no.
I'm out of here.
Sit your tushy back down. Now.
The doctor said she agrees monogamy is not natural.
Except you happen to be someone, and for the other men out there, if you're in a relationship with a woman, that's where, monogamy is.
That's you have to put up the effort.
Well, so here's the thing. Let's just talk about the science, okay? From an evolutionary perspective, those with the XY chromosome,
yes,
right? As we evolved, and it's still considered by evolutionary psychologists in men's DNA today, there is a core, not an emotional, not a social impulse, but a core DNA-driven impulse, perhaps, to spread your genes as far and wide as you can. And
XY gang.
And you are someone who is actively doing that.
Yes.
Now, most men don't actively spread their genes.
Most men lie.
No, they may be spreading their genes, but they're not procreating.
Oh. Well,
right? So they're spreading their genes to
depends what community you're talking about.
Yeah, but they're the impulse.
You're an NBA player.
Right, maybe. But your average guy is not parenting 13 children.
Right.
Okay, so there's two factors. One, men may and we're not talking about emotions or society or female expectations. We're just talking about base biology. Perhaps we could argue that it's still in your DNA to spread your genes as far and wide and to have that variety, right?
That's how the world stays popular.
Right. It's a biological, perhaps, imperative.
I have millions of potential people in my scrotum.
That's so scary. Because we already have 13. Are we going to have 1 million? Little Nicks.
And you have, what women have, like, they were like, how many eggs we have from birth, right? And it's millions versus.
Yeah. But it is finite. And once she reaches menopause, that's finished.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
all right, so
therefore, my species
Okay, but then
Must keep the planet
now
going.
there's one more factor that you'll be happy about.
Yes.
And that is that when monogamy for life was created, it was created when farming started, when we started to farm.
Talk that talk, Doc.
And so couples came together. It was like, okay, we have to have babies. We have to have kids to help us on the farm. We're going to settle down here. We're going to come together, right?
Yep.
But we're going to commit to each other.
Yes.
But when monogamy for life was created, 50 was like 90 today. We didn't live well past
that long.
So monogamy for life was 15 years, 20 years. It wasn't 50, right? So it was a much shorter time. Now back then the average lifespan when monogamy started was maybe 50. You were ancient. Right. Now the expected lifetime due to modern medical technology is 100.
Yeah.
So if you're monogamous for life, it's a long ass time.
Yeah. Who wants to be with somebody for 100 years?
Well, I don't think you'd be with someone for 100 years, but you might be with someone for 50, right? Or 60 or 70 if you live that long.
Shouts out to my grandparents. They did it 50 plus.
Yeah. Okay. So those are two kind of factors that I know you're excited about.
I am, because you just proved my point.
I didn't. I proved an impulse that you have, right?
My nature, who I am.
No,
I was born this way.
Just your biological. Are you only your biology?
No.
Okay, so it's just your biology. That's it.
But that's what I have to fight. My spirit has to fight my biology.
Well, I think we could go deep. I don't know how deep you want to go right now, but
like in my personal business.
Yeah. But let me just say this. I'll just glide over this thing.
Okay.
Okay. For a man to be monogamous over a long-term relationship, and I've been doing this for 30 years. I've met thousands upon thousands and worked intimately in the most intimate aspects of their lives. Uh-huh. And I have met thousands upon thousands of men who, I'm not saying they haven't been emotionally unfaithful, right, but they have not taken that action because they are deeply capable of, they want that kind of intimacy that comes from deeply investing in one relationship. Like, you are capable of deep intimacy, but it is spread across all of these relationships. So each of these women gets 1/4 of your emotional, intimate energy, or 1/6, right? Right. Now, when a man really wants to go deep with a woman or a partner, whoever it is, but if he's having a relationship with a woman, now let's just talk about women's biological imperative, right? It's a high risk to have sex because, right, when in evolutionary times, when we got pregnant, we could die and we were vulnerable. We couldn't take care of ourselves. So our biological imperative is not to spread our genes, but to, and also...
Say that again, Doc, because I want there to be some clarity here.
Women's
our nature is
different.
Women, even, because everybody always asks that question, well, why can men do this and women can't?
Well, I'll tell you one more reason women have a hard time with it, is that men have more testosterone than women have. Now, that becomes really important because when a woman has an orgasm, so that means if she's having good sex with a man, which I know you provide, that...
She said it, not me.
According to your reports. But actually, I will say that the mamas have confirmed that to me, the ones I know. See? Okay, because I made sure that you were telling the truth. But when a woman does have an orgasm, her brain gets washed in oxytocin. Right. Oxytocin is the chemical of attachment, the same one that breastfeeding mothers release to bond them to the babies. Right. Now, so she has a one-night stand. She goes into it thinking, I don't even want to see this guy again. He's just hot and I want to have great sex. And then she has great sex and has an orgasm. And then the next day, despite all her intentions, she's bummed when he doesn't call because now she accidentally had an experience of bonding with him.
And that oxytocin got to dripping.
Now, guys get oxytocin too, but their testosterone compensates. Right. Now, as you age, unless you get testosterone replacement, your oxytocin is going to get more and more powerful.
Also, I'll become more attached as I get older.
Unless you replace your testosterone.
I can feel that happening.
Yeah.
I cry more.
Okay.
Like, I care more. I thought it was because I have my children and I'm more.
Well, that may be part of it, but I think there is it's not. Yes, men can be monogamous because of the restrictions of religion or guilt or whatever.
That's why I was like, to me, it's all discipline.
That's what it is, but it doesn't have to be religious. It's not only discipline. See, you have a skewed reality. It is discipline and opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if you are a guy,
but not everybody
working,
can get pussy.
No,
you
are not. You are not. Now, if he's looking for it and seeking it out,
I was about to say, I done seen some not so well off dudes got 2, 3, 4 chicks.
Yeah, but the average guy who isn't actively looking to cheat on his partner, it will not necessarily get as much opportunity as you get every day.
But
an opportunity is one of the. So it's opportunity and discipline.
Right. Yeah. So if he's in a cave locked up somewhere and ain't no pussy around.
Well, not only a cave, like he's working and he's with his family and he's invested in his family. I mean, I know so many men who are deeply invested in the family they've created, and they get sex from their partner and they get intimacy from their partner, and they want to go deeper into that connection.
Now, we talk about that for a minute. I can mature up and be serious for a second about fatherhood.
Yeah.
And the example that one wants to lead specifically for your daughters.
Yeah. And what they should expect.
That's the thing. That's the stuff that keeps me up at night.
Well, are you going to be okay if your daughters have relationship like their mothers do with you?
All right, so you're pretty much saying if my daughter finds a guy like me, will I not shoot him?
Yeah.
Nah, he getting shot.
Really?
I don't want that. But that's the thing. Hopefully, I give them the game. They see how they daddy is, so they stay away from motherfuckers like me.
Honey, the opposite is true.
No.
The opposite is true.
They're going to go find little square, nice guys like Jerry, our cameraman over there. I would like, Jerry's a very intelligent young man.
Is Jerry monogamous?
He smiles all the time. He gets a crush on a girl and he blushes.
See, he's going to be monogamous.
Yes, I want all my daughters. First of all, I want my daughters to be lesbians. Let's start there. We can go pick up chicks together. And if that doesn't work out, then I want them to like Jerry's of the world. I want them to be all in the tech. They know how many SKUs are on the camera and what lens to go.
But girls want a man like their dad. They emulate.
No, don't find a motherfucker like me.
Well, then you better change something up.
No, they could, because I mean, again, I'm joking, but you'll be able to also see it's their mothers aren't living easy lives.
No, and that's what they're seeing every day.
So they're gonna be like, I don't want to have to go through what mom went through.
I wish it worked that way.
So they're gonna want a guy like me. See, now you're making me feel. You're supposed to make me feel better. What is this therapy thing is not working today?
I'm giving you some hard truths so that you can come to a place where you can feel better.
I'm never gonna be monogamous. So that's not gonna.
I disagree. I think the reason you could be monogamous.
I could jump off a building and do a backflip if I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
If you were willing to do the work on your abandonment issues and your other issues,
that's not gonna make me. That'll make me a better person. That's not gonna make me. My abandonment issues is not gonna stop me from wanting some more pussy from somebody else.
You will want it, but if you were to open up to that level of intimacy with a woman,
I'm doing the work. I know. First, let's keep it a stack. There's the spiritual person that wants to be holier than thou. I'm working on myself. I'm in tune.
Yeah.
And then there's the flesh that likes the fuck.
Okay, and that's not the only two options.
No, like let's keep it a stack.
No,
like I can be in front of these cameras in front all I want. Like, I'm working on myself. Yeah, and these two things can happen simultaneously. But I still get aroused when I see a beautiful woman, and if she is throwing it, I'm catching it.
But why that part? Why can't you get aroused? I mean, I'm saying you like if you wanted to be monogamous, I'm not saying you want to, and you don't have to be.
And I'm speaking for most men out there. They won't say this shit because their girl's sitting next to them.
Most men.
Don't listen to Nick Cannon. He crazy. Baby, he ain't, no, he crazy. Something wrong with him.
Most men who want to be monogamous, okay, if they want to be monogamous,
no man wants to be monogamous.
Yes, they do, because they
women want to be monogamous.
But they want to be with that woman, so they want to be monogamous.
For a certain amount of time, Doc. I'll be monogamous for a few weeks.
Oh, Lord.
Like,
Nick, you are
there's going to be a point where he's going to roll over and be like, well, I think this monogamy thing was all right. This season is over. So he's either going to get him somebody new or he's going to go get something else.
You're acting out for the majority of men. They can live vicariously through you.
It's true. I think I'm one of the few men on this planet that are honest.
You are not honest. Cut the crap.
No, I'm talking about honest of who I am.
Okay, but the only way you can pull it off,
first of all, I'm not dishonest. Let's not put that out there.
But you are.
I leave out some
omission.
I omit certain
lie
things
by
for protection
omission
of someone else's feelings.
No, protection from you getting in trouble.
No, I don't want to. If I'm out fucking, I'm not gonna come in here. I was outside fucking. I'm not gonna tell you that.
No, you'll say
that would hurt your feelings.
You say I'm going to the studio. That's
then
what you
I'll
always
be
say.
fucking at the studio.
Right, and you're lying.
No, I was at the studio.
But she thinks you're going to make music.
She don't know if I'm making a beat or beating that thing. Like she don't need to know all of that. I'm just at the studio.
Right. Well, so this is what I mean. That's a lie by omission.
Lie.
It's a lie by omission.
No, because you didn't ask me the question. Now, if you asked me, hey, were you fucking at the studio? I'd be like, you know what? I was fucking at the studio. But
or you're like,
if you just said, how was the studio? It was great.
No, and you're like, okay, let me have sex with you. It's 3 a.m. I gotta go to the studio. Yeah, then you go meet another one, and she thinks you're going to record.
That's my fault?
Yes, because you're misleading, or you'll say I gotta go do some things. You know, you basically
I'm vague.
Right.
Dark-winged duck.
Yeah. And you tell yourself that I mean, I agree that you are very honest about who you are as a human being.
Let's get back to that, because all that's going to get me in trouble. Let's talk. I am honest, and I am very comfortable with who I am in this universe. And I know that monogamy is not for me. I've tried it multiple times, never succeeded at it. And
do people understand that you don't sleep? Like 99% of men could not pull off what you were doing just physically. Like you don't sleep.
I don't even own a person. I
have
a bed.
Yeah, you don't even have a home.
Other people got beds.
I mean, you have a home out of state, but in Los
but I don't
Angeles,
have, most of the time I'm sleep on a couch.
Yeah. So, and you just bed hop, and then you sleep in the studio, or sleep on a couch, or sleep where you land, right? But 99% of men could not do that.
I think at some point, because even as I get older, because I think about this sometimes, I'm like the average person probably would get tired.
Yes.
They'd be like, yo, I'm exhausted.
Exactly.
Like,
I want to go deep with this one woman who I've built a family with, who I have children with. Because then I probably wouldn't be
as tired. But nah, I don't know. I think I like my life. Like, I really...
Clearly.
Like... I don't think, like, it's not at a level yet to where at least I feel like, oh, this is draining. Like,
it's going to get there. And I can tell you, at least 3 mamas are waiting with bated breath, hoping they're the last one standing when that happens.
It's not a competition.
No, they're just all hanging on, hoping that eventually you get
tired.
Yes. Yes.
I don't, because for one, I mean, that's a whole nother situation, because we're specifically, like, no. Are we...
Keep it on topic.
Are we talking monogamy as in, like, what is the definition of monogamy? Because are we saying monogamy that means you only are sexually active with one person?
It could be.
Or does monogamy mean you have multiple relationships? Because sex doesn't even have to be implemented. For people to feel like that you're not monogamous.
Okay, so let's talk about what cheating is. There can be emotional infidelity, where there isn't any physical contact. There can be sexual infidelity. There can be sexual and emotional infidelity. There can even be financial infidelity, but that's
Right.
something else. So there are lots of men.
That's when you're out there tricking on these hoes.
But there's lots of men who are sexually monogamous with their partners, but they may be emotionally.
They got pen pals.
Yeah.
They got,
or they're with their, or with
DMing.
yes, or they're on social media DMing with their,
fantasizing.
Yes, yes, and that happens.
And that's cheating?
I think that's cheating. If you're in a monogamous relationship, because anytime you're investing sexual and romantic energy outside the relationship, you are taking away from what you could be investing into the relationship. That is shortchanging your committed monogamous relationship.
See, because I ask this question quite often, and we'll ask it to the people in the comments. Ladies, what would you rather? And you can answer this too. You're a married woman.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rather happen? If you only could have one or two of these options.
Okay.
Your man, after work, goes to a strip club 3 times a week for 2 hours.
Ew. Okay.
And 3 times a week for 2 hours.
And does he get lap dances?
Probably gets lap dance. He turning up. He throwing your rent money in the air.
Okay.
He's getting it popping.
No to that.
But he comes up in a different strip. He doesn't even go to the same strip club. He's a connoisseur.
And he doesn't go to the same stripper.
Nope, he don't know the strippers are interchangeable.
Totally anonymous.
Totally anonymous. He may get a lap dance in the valley this week. Next week
are they
is
private
out
lap dances
in downtown.
Is he private lap dances where he's alone in the back, or is it like out?
He's wearing sweatpants to
got it.
He's getting his little excitement on.
Okay,
but it's only he don't know these women by name. Come home and tells you how much he loves you, or your man spends that same 2 hours 3 times a week talking to his coworker.
Mm-hmm.
Locked in the room, just him and them giggling on the phone.
I don't want either of those.
I know you don't want either.
So here's,
but if you could help me,
I know what you're asking. I'll tell you. I know.
Is it him spending time talking to a coworker that he sees every day for 2 hours?
Yeah.
And they got so many connections, but they're just coworkers.
Yeah.
Or that he is actually getting a release at the strip club with a stranger.
Is he in love with the coworker? Not in a way that
I don't. They only talk.
Okay. So most women that
for 2 hours on the phone. So
most women that I know, and this is really interesting between men and women, if you were to ask them, would you rather your
coworker or stripper? Which one?
Yeah, tell us which one. I say no to both, but you tell us which
one. That's not an option.
Sorry,
Either
I'm
he's having a
rules.
platonic closeness with his coworker, or he is getting his rocks off at the strip club.
All right, choose one. I'm not going to choose one because I say no to both. But you go ahead and choose one.
Right,
I know I'm not going to play that game. I don't like it. But I will say this. If you ask, and this is another question for you guys. If you ask women and then men, would you rather your partner have sex with someone that they don't love, it didn't mean anything, or be in love with someone they never have sex with? What would you want?
Right, that's pretty much what I was asking.
And most guys will say, I would much rather her fall, if in a monogamous relationship will say, and even you with the mamas would say, I'd rather her fall in love with someone than have sex with someone.
Yeah, like you can be fantasizing in love with Drake all you want.
No, a real person.
Oh, I thought it was like...
No, you're in love with a real person. They would say, I'd rather her be in love.
Well, I actually really know Drake, so that could be a problem.
So would you rather her be in love with a person that she never has sex with, but that she loves? She loves you too, but she really loves this person and is in romantic love with them.
Where does he live?
She's not going to have physical sex with him. Okay, but she's in romantic love with him. Or would you rather her have total one-night stand or sex where she has no feelings for the person?
She could be in love.
All right. Now, most women, and you ladies back me up here, most women would say the opposite. I would rather him have sex with some random woman than fall in love with someone.
If he's never entering my castle, I don't
Meaning
care
her vagina.
what you are fantasizing about. You can be fantasizing, but once some scoundrel rat monster has gone up into my territory, we got problems.
All right, so you want me to tell you another evolutionary reason for that?
Please.
It's called the sex contract. Now, this is what the cave people did. This is what evolutionary psychologists have figured out from all the discoveries they made. And this is why we're programmed for serial monogamy. That's what scientists believe. Because what happened is when we started off as apes, right? And then we started walking upright. And when we did, our pelvises narrowed. And so babies started being born sooner in a smaller, more dependent way. And so they couldn't just hop on our backs while the women continued to hunt or to gather and defend themselves and look for predators. Right. But so the baby started being born real early, and the mother was very vulnerable and the baby was very vulnerable. So the woman said to the man, look, I'm going to guarantee you that this baby I'm having is yours. I'm not going to have sex with anyone else, only you. So you can know that this baby is yours. And in exchange, our agreement is you're going to hunt for us. You're going to protect us. You're going to provide for us. And then when the baby is about 3 years old and can hop on my back or walk alongside me while we gather and I'm independent again, then we'll move on. And when you look at divorce rates around the world, the highest divorce rate is when the youngest child reaches 3 years old.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? So we are actually programmed for short-term monogamy. That's what it's in our evolutionary history.
I'm not mad at that.
Now, if you think about that, back to the question I just asked, right? A man does not want his woman, he doesn't want any more genes getting up inside her.
Right.
That's in his evolutionary biological imperative.
Right.
The woman doesn't want him investing his energy and resources anywhere else.
Protecting and providing for others. I would almost agree with you if I hadn't done so much research in the space of tribalism.
Okay, tell me.
Because even in the natives of here, the indigenous people of America, to this day even, there are tribes and there's sexual practices that the woman would get pregnant, and because she had multiple partners in the tribe, that no one would know specifically who the father was, and every man in that
would take
tribe
responsibility.
would take responsibility for that
Well,
child.
that's about the tribe. Okay, now when you're talking about tribal
I'm all about
living,
the tribe.
okay, so you're okay with all the other guys having sex with your woman in the tribe? Okay, well then you're not all about the tribe.
No, I'm the king of the tribe. It's my tribe.
But that's not what you just said. The tribe is that she has sex with everyone.
I didn't think that one through. I like my tribe.
My tribe by
but
my
I'm
rules.
just saying, but the statement in which I was making is that there are tribes where that occurs.
Okay.
To where even in making sure that the tribe stays as strong as the tribe can possibly stay,
but
that everyone is it takes a
that's their mutual, that's their mutual agreement, and they are all bought into that.
Yeah.
But when we were evolving, evidently that wasn't. I'm not saying that's not the way some tribes are today. I think that's beautiful that they all take responsibility. If you go to Samoa, that's a similar thing. I mean, there are tribes, there are societies, there are communities.
A whole bunch of Samoan people like, we ain't ever did that.
No. I mean, from like Margaret Mead and things like that. Love in the in Samoa. It's a beautiful book. It's from the anthropologist Margaret Mead. But and that was a long time ago. But the point is that there are communities, there are tribes.
I'm about to pull up to Samoa, like, hey, what you doing, man?
Also, children are sexual. They're allowed to have sex and sexually explore. This was, when Margaret Mead was doing her research.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
You're talking, this is ancient time. Like,
not ancient, like 50, 75 years ago.
All right. You have all these Samoan people in the chat, in the comments.
You'll have to tell us. Yeah. Read the book. It's really good.
What's it called?
I'm trying to remember the title right now, but it's by Margaret Mead. It's something like Love in Samoa, something in Samoa.
All right. We're going to check that one out. But to the point is where monogamy over the course of all civilization, and even you said, even it never lasted more than 3 years, it can't be sustainable. It just can't.
It can, but it takes tremendous commitment and effort and recalibration and communication and growing together and reorganizing things is, I mean, I can tell you and I can promise you this because there are many reasons I know this to be true, but you can ask him on your own another time. I've been married for 20 years and this man he may have had thoughts. He may have had a few, I don't know. He could have had some emotional dalliances or some, certainly I'm sure he's had plenty of fantasies. But he has never stepped out, and neither have I. You don't believe me, but it's true.
Hey, like I said, I'm on your couch. You're not on my couch. So I would ask some different questions if that's the case, because shots out and salute, more power to you if you have one of those rare relationships where you have both been monogamous to each other for whatever reason. I have witnessed it a few times in the space of, like I said, religion, discipline, people really putting up the effort, doing what's right for the children. That one I can understand. Like, you're trying to build a household and be an example. But
there's a level of emotional intimacy that is so profound when you are committing your lives to each other. Now, I'm not saying that someone doesn't sometimes step out or make a mistake or, in a long trajectory of a relationship, have a one-night stand. But I don't think that, and I'm not saying that you have to choose monogamy. You can choose not to be monogamous. Both are, and it's not easy. It's much easier, although not for you because you're too non-monogamous. But for most people, in some ways, it's easier. But it requires so much communication and so much confidence and dealing with your jealousy and communication.
You got to be strong.
You got to be super strong, super clear, super communicative, super forgiving, super confident. I mean, it takes
an alternative lifestyle that takes a lot of work.
Yes, as much as monogamy.
So I'll ask you this, and because I've in this session I've revealed all my toxicity. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be monogamous?
Well, one is it's hard, and two, you have a huge amount of opportunity. Hot women are throwing themselves at you constantly or sidling up to you constantly. And you have there's a certain wall where you can only get so emotionally intimate with people because of your fear of abandonment. And so you're waiting.
Protection.
Right. You're protecting yourself. So this is one of the ways you protect yourself.
So why would I want to be monogamous?
You don't have to want to.
But that's what I'm saying.
Except for the women you're with would like you.
Everybody's telling me, you should be monogamous. One day you'll settle down.
I don't think you need to be.
I'm living, a life that is, not, what's the word I want to say? Just not the correct lifestyle.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think you need
because we're looked at, because if the majority of society is monogamous, or at least, attempting to be monogamous or putting up that presentation that they're monogamous, and then I'm not, and I'm openly saying...
Well, more and more people are becoming polyamorous. It's becoming more and more the norm, and who the hell cares what everyone is doing? There's nothing wrong with being non-monogamous if everybody agrees. The problem that I have is that you're not really in polyamorous relationships. You are in one-sided polyamorous relationships.
Monopoly.
Yes, the women are not allowed.
No, see, when you start going allowed,
they can't keep you.
They can do whatever they want.
But they don't get to keep you if they have sex with or they are polyamorous. They can't be in a polyamorous relationship with you. You can be you are in a polyamorous relationship with them, but they cannot be you will not be in a polyamorous relationship with them. In other words, if they said, hey, Nick, I want to bring this, I'm going to start being with this other person too, you would say, very nice, I love you, we're going to raise our child together, but we're not romantically involved anymore. Is that true or not?
False.
You are okay being in a relationship. You're full of crap.
No,
I have listened to you with these. We have had this conversation before.
And I'll tell you what the true statement is.
Okay, go ahead.
Because let's keep it a stat. I have multiple mothers of my children that are in full-on relationships.
But you're not romantically involved with them.
Again, this is what I will say. And I will make this emphatic statement.
Okay.
Because I've also had many relationships that I know she in the streets and I'm in the streets.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you in the streets.
Yeah.
But
she doesn't get your love and your investment and your resources and your connection.
So it is all about what one... I want to say this correctly. Because I don't want to sound narcissistic and chauvinistic.
But you are a little narcissistic.
I am a narcissist, but I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to be thoughtful with what I'm about to say.
Be thoughtful.
But to me, if you make certain decisions, they come with certain repercussions. So therefore, if what we have built is not enough for you, because that's pretty much what you're telling me, is if our interaction, so all of this good loving and my emotions and the stability and protection that I'm giving you, you're saying that's cool, but I also want something else.
Why can't she have something else? You get something else.
So if that's what you desire, therefore I'm going to understand that you desire other things. So my nature is going to then pull back.
Right. So
I'm not going to say it's not possible.
No, it is not. We
can still be intimate. I'm not going to be like, if you go off and just in first of all, because it's all about honesty and all. If we have a conversation and you're like, you know what? I love everything I love this house. I love these kids.
I love you.
I love you. I love the sex that we're having.
Yeah.
But I want some new dick. I'm going to be like, something's not clicking here. Like, because you don't have the levels of testosterone that I have. You don't have the same instincts that I have, because you even said earlier, in your nature, there is something that is more dangerous about you stepping out than me stepping out.
Not anymore, because of birth control and
I'm not. There's so much. First
sex.
of all, even rape rates from men and women. You just being out here in these streets. I'm thinking about.
Oh, come on.
It's honest. If my baby mama is in a nightclub, I'm concerned about every dude that is intoxicated that I might have to go.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about.
Now, if I'm in the nightclub, I control myself.
We're not talking about safety. We're talking about her.
But that's what's going through my mind, because I have to turn those things off, because I have certain mothers of my children. There's certain mothers of my children. I'm like, man, I hope she's all right. My protection mechanism is on, because that's my household.
Yes.
I'm the one that she looks if there's a noise in the house.
You're the protector.
She's gonna pick up the phone and call me.
And you're not.
Now there's others that got I'm not that part of my brain isn't working for them, because they probably got somebody else that they call when there's a noise.
So basically, you're not polyamorous. You want a harem.
I didn't say that either. So what are you doing to me right now? I didn't say any of these things.
No,
I'm
I get what you're saying.
Open and vulnerable.
I get what you're saying, but it's what you see how it's one-sided. Remember we said this is just biology. It's not emotions. It's not anything else.
Right.
So you can't use the thing, well, you don't have the testosterone, so you can't be non-monogamous.
You said it.
No. But that's not the reason you don't let her be non-monogamous.
Well, so what is the reason?
I'll tell you
Tell me why.
The
what's
reason is because she is alone. She gets you 1/6 or 1/4 of the time.
Okay.
She's alone the rest of the time.
Okay.
She doesn't have any. She gets the cuddles, the kisses, and the sex 1/6 of the time she wants it, right? So she could fill that in with other men who could give her comfort, who could give her cuddles, who could give her quality time.
Other toxic motherfucker to come in here?
No, not a toxic one, a sweet one. Why can't she get a good one?
If he's coming into this circle, he got some toxicity going with. Jerry ain't coming into
You're
this
saying
shit.
that everybody who's polyamorous is toxic?
Everyone who is polyamorous has to deal with more challenges than
Yes.
people who are monogamous.
That is true. But if she is willing to deal with the challenges, and she's already
Trust
dealing with...
me, I know.
Right, but she's not going to have 6. Let's say she has one other or 2 others, right? And she's maybe one she's just having sex with, and another she goes to the movies with, or out to dinner with, or does fun things
When
with.
does she have time to do all of this shit, Doc?
6 nights a week when you aren't with her.
No, she got shit to do.
What do you mean?
She got kids. She got unless I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just trying to be honest here. I'm on the couch. I'm being vulnerable. If you're a woman that is not the mother of my child, I almost expect you to be out here doing your thing. And I'm in like, yeah, you probably got mad motherfuckers you talking to, and that's the understanding that we have. There's gonna be double condoms involved. It's gonna be like it's gonna be interactions that I know that, okay, she's living a non-monogamous lifestyle, I'm living a non-monogamous. But if you're the mother of my children, and first and foremost, your goal and our goal together as co-parents is to make sure that we are I'm looking to you, because I ain't shit. I'm looking to you to be the nurturer
She
and
can
the
do
one
that.
that is instilling and
Why can't she have a boyfriend on the side and still do that?
How does she have time to do this?
At night, she has a babysitter. She goes on.
No.
You already said. You've said
first
to
of all,
these.
you know how much night babysitters cost? You better sleep your ass
What
in
if
this
he's
bed.
willing? What if he's willing to pay for the babysitter?
So he's paying for the pussy now, Doc?
No, he's paying for the babysitter.
That's paying for the I'm supposed to go. So some motherfucker's gonna come to my house and say, "I will pay your babysitter."
No, she has a boyfriend. She has
he's
a boyfriend.
the babysitter. I'm already paying for the babysitter.
Right, but he doesn't
and now you
feel
gonna
right.
get the babysitter.
You just said you don't want to pay
bonus checks at night so you can go fuck my. No.
Did you see? Pair them.
That is no. That's I'm being sincere.
I am
here.
too, and you know I love you, but
That
this
is
is
not
not fair.
It's
not fair. I mean, the women sign up for this, but I know it's hard for them, and I know they're lonely, and I know
not lonely.
Yes,
I'm
they
there.
are. No, that is not true. That you are there, but you are often not there.
No,
and because you have many. How there are only so many waking hours in the day.
But I'm telling you, I have a lot of love to give.
But you're not. But there are only so many waking hours in the day to give that love.
But it's all like so. We gotta end this session here. We're gonna pause here because starting to get frazzled.
You're starting to sweat.
We will continue this conversation. Also, there's a few addendums and some things that were said during this podcast. It's just all for entertainment.
Yeah.
This is just for conversation purposes.
That's it.
No, one thing you said I had 13 kids. I don't have 13 kids. I have 12 because I can see that going viral
All right,
now.
12 kids. 12 kids.
So you kept saying 13.
Yeah, because
13 is in the ether. Everyone keeps saying, when's the next
I keep
kid
expecting a 13th. There's only 12.
I'm chilling right now. I have 12 kids, and I am trying my best.
I lose count.
Yes. I have before, too, and got in trouble for that as well. But I'm trying my best.
Yes, you are. And you're a sweetheart.
And these type of conversations are meant to help me work through all that I'm going through. But I'm a work in progress.
Yes, you are.
In the perfect world, as we wrap this up, what would you want from me? What we're in other men out there who don't believe in monogamy?
I would want some kind of mutuality, mutual equality, fairness, yes. And I would want you to understand that well, it could be if it was done consciously and carefully and collectively. And I see it happen all the time. Most people who are in polyamorous relationships are mutually polyamorous and they have kids. Yes. Yes. I'm not saying it's easy, but yes. They absolutely are.
Once my kids is grown, you can go do whatever you want to do.
Bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, monogamy is hard. We aren't programmed for monogamy for life as long as we're living. It is absolutely possible. There are many, many advantages to it, emotionally, logistically, financially, in many, many ways. And there's a level of deep intimacy and connection available to you when you're investing all your energy in one place.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that polyamorous relationships aren't a beautiful thing and can be a beautiful thing, but they are extremely challenging.
You heard it from the doctor herself, Dr. Laura Berman. We, on many topics, agree to disagree.
Many topics.
But
and I love you anyway.
I love you too. This is a good session. I feel like if there was discourse or debate that I won.
Oh, you so didn't win.
Well, the comments will
let us know. Yeah, you let us know who won.
Because I feel like I was making some good points for our society. But I also do know that I am all for, equanimity and balance and the idea of, if I do something, then the other person has the right to do it as well.
Let's see if that happens.
We'll see. We'll continue this again next time we meet. I love you.
Love you too.
Let's go. Counsel Culture.